Hmm. 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 Hello. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello, my what? Hello, my. Hello, my warrior. Hello, my warrior. Hello, 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 my warrior. Hello, my knight. Hello, my knight. Hello, hello. Hello, my knight. Hello, my knight. Hello, my knight. Hello, hello. Hello, my knight. And tonight is a glorious night. It's a glorious, glorious, glorious night. It's a glorious night. It's a glorious night. It's a glorious, it's a glorious night. It's a glorious night. It's a glorious night. It's a glorious, glorious night. And you hear that dog barking in the background. Well, dog spelled backward is God. So this is a Meta 11 sent from heaven. Not a Meta 3, a Meta 4, a Meta 5, a Meta 6. Not even a Meta 7 sent from heaven. It's a Meta 11 sent from heaven. And so it's a beautiful, not rudeful night. It's a beautiful, not rudeful, a beautiful, not rudeful, a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful night. It's a beautiful night. It's a beautiful night. It's a beautiful, beautiful, not rudeful night. It's a beautiful night. It's a beautiful night. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful night. And well, what are we here tonight to talk about? Under the stars. Under the stars, under the stars. Under the glistening and listening and glistening stars. Under the glistening stars, under the glistening stars. Under the glistening and listening and glistening stars. Under the glistening stars and the glistening stars. And the glistening and twinkling stars. And the twinkling stars and the twinkling stars. And the twinkling and twinkling stars. And why are they twinkling? And why are they twinkling? And what does it mean when we say a star is twinkling? Well, let me tell you, my son, my warrior, my knight, my knight, my knight, my knight, my knight. Let me tell you what a twinkling star is. A twinkling star is a star from afar. It's a star from afar, it's a star from afar. It's a star, it's a star, it's a star from afar. It's a star from afar, it's a star from afar. It's a star, it's a star, it's a star from afar. And what is a star? A star is another planet. A star is another place where, where what? Is there life on these other stars? Of course there's life on other stars. But this star that we're on, that we came back to, where I sent you to, planet Earth, the once upon a time beautiful, not beautiful green planet. This was a beautiful planet. This was a beautiful, beautiful, not beautiful planet. This planet, oh, I planned it. I planned it, I planned it. I planned it, I planned it. I planned it and I planned it, and I planted it and I planted it, and I planted and planted, and planted and planted it. I planted it and planted it and planted it and planted it, and planted it and planted it, and planted it and planted it. But I didn't plan the way the plan failed. I didn't plan the plan to fail. I wrote a plan, but the plan failed. It derailed. It did not sail. And so I have to send you back down to planet now shit. I have to send you back down to planet shit with a lot of wit. With a lot of wit, with a lot of flick. With a lot of flick, with a lot of wit, with a lot of charm, with a lot of charisma. With a lot of this and a lot of that and a lot of that and a lot of this. To be exact, I'm going to give you 22 gifts and riffs like no man in the history of the planet has ever had before. I'm going to give you 22 riffs and 22 gifts that will make the ugliest and smuggliest and even the fuggliest know that you're channeling me, the one and only. The one and only that's not a phony or full of baloney or kosher salami. In other words, the one and only star that matters. And this is the heart of the matter. So as you lie there, or are you sitting there, or are you laying there, or are you listening and glistening there, or what are you doing there? My son, my favorite son. And yes, you are my favorite son. And don't believe what you believe, what you be the rabadoo. Don't be rabadee and the rabadoobadies. And the dabadies and the doobadas and the dabadee-badooba-dabadooba-dabadoobadas. You see, the dabadies and the doobadas don't listen and glisten in the heart, and the smart, and the love and the light, and the love and the bright, and the bright and the light, and the love and the light. And the abadabadoobadies live next door to the abadabadoobadee-badabadabadoobadies. And the abadabadoobadee-badabadabadoobadies live next door to the dee-badabadooba-dabadooba-dabadooba-dabadooba-dabadooba-dabadooba-dabadies. And the e-badabadooba-dabadee-badabadooba-dabadee-badabadooba-dabadooba-dabadies live next door to the knabadee-badabadooba-dabadee-badabadooba-dabadooba-dabadooba-dabadies. And the knee-badabadooba-dabadee-badabadooba-dabadooba-dabadooba-dabadies live next door to the knee-badabadooba-dabba-vee-badabba-vee-badabba-dee-badabba-doo-badabba-dee-badabba-doo-badabba-dee-badabba-doo-badabba-dee-badabba-dee. And the shneeba-nabba-dooba-dee-badabba-dee-badabba-dee-badabba-dee-badabba-dee-badabba-dee-badabba-dee-badabba-dee-badabba-dee-badabba-dee-badabba-dee-badabba-dee-badabba-dee-badabba-dee-badabba-dee-badabba-dee-badabba-dee-badabba-dee-badabba-dee-badabba-dee-badabba-dee-badabba-dee-badabba-dee-badabba-dee-badabba-dee-badabba-dee-badabba-dee-badabba-dee-badabba-dee-badabba-dee-badabba-dee-badabba-dee-badabba-dee-badabba-dee-badabba-dee-badabba-dee-badabba-dee-badabba-dee-badabba-dee-badabba-dee-badabba-dee-badabba-dee-badabba-dee-badabba-dee-badabba-dee-badabba-dee-badabba-dee-badabba-dee-badabba-dee-badabba-dee-badabba-dee-badabba-dee-badabba-dee-badabba-d I didn't do the same on purpose. And this is what I'm going to do to you during your next 1 year. 1 year and a few months. I'm not going to tell you the amount, but it's not going to go to 2 years. But I'm going to lie to you. I'm going to lie to you. Basically every day I'm going to lie to you. But the lie is going to seem so real because the way I tell the story. And so you're never going to know if it's a lie or maybe I'm telling you the truth for the first time. Or maybe the third or fourth or fifth time. Because I will tell you a lot of truths within the lies. But you will keep going and going and going and going, even though you won't have any money. You won't have any dinero. You won't have any gold or silver or chains or diamonds. All you'll have is me, the one and only. That's all you will have, my son. You won't have anything, and you won't have a friend. You won't have one friend in the world because of jealousy and envy, the unfriendly. Because the gifts I'm going to give you are so amazing and blazing that everyone's going to be jealous and envious of your gifts. And I'm going to make you younger. I'm going to make you a lot younger. And so as everyone gets older and older and older, you're going to get younger and younger and younger. And that's going to really piss off the ugly and the smugly. Because you see, the ugly and the smugly have always hated you. They've always hated you, they've always hated you, and they've always berated you. And well, they tried to destroy you by destroying your dreams. Destroying your dreams, destroying your dreams. They tried. They did. You see, my son. You see, my son, these are all samples, ample samples, examples of different gifts I'm going to be giving you. Like, for example, the one I just gave you. I can make your vocal cords into a metronome or into a beatbox. In other words, but with perfect rhythm like a machine. In other words, you'll be able to keep a beat like that the entire day, or for a week, a month, a year, until the ugly and smugly realize that no person in the history of the planet can do that and could ever do that. And so that one gift alone should convince anyone that you're channeling the love, the light, the love, the bright, the love, the light on the way. But I know the ugly, the smugly, and even the fugly, and they will need a lot more evidence than that. And so you will be doing amazing and blazing things. You will heal people, a lot of people. And well, the people who you heal will have to reveal the healings. And if they don't reveal the healings, they will get the pain or the disease back plus 50% more. Shoot, but don't score. Because a lot of people will want to be healed by you, but most rather keep the sickness or the pain than be healed by you. Because that's how jealousy and envy works. And I know you don't understand that now, but after a year and a few months, you will understand. You will more than understand, you will more than understand. You will understand how ugly and smugly and even fugly the souls of this world are. And you will understand why in the verse of the universe it says, well, why the verse in the universe is not a curse, and this is not perverse, if you do the right thing with the wings in your heart, with the wings of the one and only King that are in your heart. That's the only way you can get to the good part of the spirit world when you leave the once upon a time beautiful green planet. But only a small portion ever make it straight to the grand part of the spirit world. In other words, the spirit world is identical to Mother Earth without the oil and the foil and the spoil of the planet. And that's why I've sent you down there. God demanded it and commanded it. And so, by waking up in the coffee and all the ugly and smugly's hearts, in other words, letting them realize, not realize, not believe, but letting them know, for sure they will know that you're channeling me, the one and only. WGOD, the one and only soul station. They will know, my son. They will not think. If you're thinking, you're stinking and you're clinking in the dread of the head that leads to nowhere but fear and despair. So let me make this perfectly clear. It is not going to be easy for you, because people are going to belittle you because you have nothing. All you have is me, and they will know you have me, but they will not want you to know what you know to be true, because jealousy and envy, they unfriend. But as time goes on and they see more of your gifts and riffs, and when they hear the verse of the universe, they will shake in their boots when they see you, or when they hear you. They will shake in their boots. Well, not boots, because 99.9% of them will not wear what Peter PALPUN wears until you're famous. Once you're famous, that will change everything, my son. Because people respect only two things in this world, in this ugly and smugly world. They don't respect love. No, they don't. They only respect money. They only respect money, and they respect what? Fame. They respect fame. If we take some shit and put it on one of their screens that they view, it doesn't matter if it's a screen of a laptop computer, or if it's a screen of a television, or a TV, or is it a monitor, or is it a thermometer, or what's the temperature of these ugly and smugly? What's their temperature? Or what's their temper? Or do they have a temper? Or do they let you see their temper? Or do they let you see their temperament? Or do they have ego-mints? Or do they have arguments? Or is it all about the ego, the envy, the jealousy, the unfriendly? In other words, my son, you will see, you'll start to see and you'll understand why the white people who are born white thinks the whites are the best. And the Asian people who are born Asian think the Asians are the best. And the black people who are born black thinks the blacks are the best. And well, they have a point there. Well, this is the heart of the matter. You see, people get gifts depending on how well they do in each lifetime. Every lifetime that you come here, the closer you get to 95% or greater in the heart, the more gifts you have when you get to the spirit world, and the more gifts you have when you return to planet shit, the once beautiful golden green planet. But I planned it the wrong way. I planned it the wrong way. I planned it the wrong way because I gave all my children free will. Free will to do whatever they wanted to do with their 111-year at best test. But they knew what the test was. But the problem hit when they all went to the ego, the envy, the jealousy, the unfriendly. In other words, the mind. The mind that they all waste. That they all waste. Well, my son, are you getting the point? 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 Of course you're getting the point. But the point is this. How do we put all this in a movie? How do we put all this in a movie? How do we put all this in a movie? Well, it's very simple. The way we've done everything. I tell you where to put what. I'll say, okay, Peter, I want this line to be put over here, and this line to be put over here, and this line to be put over here, and this line to be put over here. And so, Peter, for the trailer, what I'm saying now, of course, would not be in a movie, but it will be in the trailer, so they get the message to see how I work with you. And so all of you viewing this, well, this is the part of the trailer that we call the making of the trailer. And hopefully this will get on one of your screens. If the blackballers people are not involved in the people that we approach, or their backs hurt so bad from the blackballers' back plague that they finally gave in. But right now, most of them have had the blackballers' back plague for going on 2 weeks, Sunday. And so, these people hate you so much. They hate you so much that they'd rather be on their backs for the rest of their lifetime here. And then they understand the verse of the universe, and they know, for all their ugly and smuggliness, when they come up here to the dear and clear, they will go straight to the bad part of the spirit world called India, for not being in their heart, identical to India, the bad part of India, with little food, clothing, and shelter, and a hell of a lot of helter-skelter. So they'll go there for 111 years, because that's how much time you spend in between lifetimes. 111 years, and depending on how well or not well you did, will depend on how much time you spend in the good part versus the most beautiful, magnificent, amazing and blazing part, the part where nobody ever wants to leave and go back down for their 111-year at best test. Well, so why have I chosen you for my knight, for my warrior, to bring me, the one and only, down to planet Earth for the first time in over 1 billion years? Why? Why have I chosen you? Why didn't I choose somebody else? There were so many to choose from. So why would I choose you, the clown of the town of Los Angeles and Unholywood? Why would I choose you? Why would I choose you, a big dumb guy? Or is it a little dumb guy? Or are you a medium-sized dumb guy? Or does it matter? All that matters is the heart of the matter. And that's why I chose you. 'Cause you're beautiful, not beautiful heart. You see, your last 12 lifetimes. Your last 12 lifetimes, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Your last 12 lifetimes, you have hit the mark. You have hit the mark, you have hit the spark. You stayed out of the dark. You did not park in the dread of the head. In other words, you did not part in that pea-brain, that drain, that pain, that flame, that crane that pulls away from the one and only smart, the heart. You stayed in the heart 95% or better for 12 lifetimes in a row. And well, this is your number 12. And so, you hit the miracle mark. 12 lifetimes. You are the first soul ever in the history of the universe to hit this mark. 12 lifetimes in a row. 95% or greater in the heart, the one and only smart. And so, when you return to the spirit world, you will, as you always do, come straight back to the great, grand, beautiful, magnificent part of the spirit world. Identical to Mother Earth in every way, without the oil and the foil and the spoil of the planet. And you will have the most magnificent home. The most magnificent home on top of the most magnificent and beautiful, omnipresent mountain you can ever imagine for Peter PALPUN. Ah, yes, my son, I do have my favorites. I do have my favorites. And I choose my favorites by how well they do in their lifetimes. Now, I know you're wondering, who was number 2? Who was number 3? Who was number 4? You know you have a twin brother who's almost identical to you, and you always thought he had a more beautiful heart than you. And well, when your brother is in the heart, he does have a beautiful, not beautiful heart, like no other. But then he goes into the dread of the head. In other words, I call it mental ping pong. Head, heart, head, heart, head, 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 heart, head, heart, head, heart, head, 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 heart. And so he goes sometimes into the dread of the head, into the ego, the jealousy, the unfriendly. Not a lot. Trust me. Who doesn't want to be a sportsman? That's an amazing and blazing lifetime. And so why are most of the men playing sports, well, over the last few centuries? Why are they black? Or is it centuries? What's a century, anyway? A century. Let me see. A century. A century. Well, a cent. A cent is when you're sent. Well, where are you sent? Well, I sent you to planet Earth. So that's one form of sent. And another form of sent is, does this make a lot of sense? In other words, of what I'm saying to you, does it make a lot of sense to you? Well, of course it does, because you know all the amazing and blazing gifts I've given you, so of course you know for sure. How could you walk anywhere all day blindfolded like we're going to do tomorrow for the trailer? I'm going to walk you from tree to tree to tree with blindfolds covering your face 1,000,000 godzillion times so the ugly and the smugly know for sure that I'm walking you around. It's the easiest thing that I do with you, but that for some reason they think it's more amazing and blazing than when I dance you. Well, imagine if you were a puppeteer up here and you had to move somebody. What's harder, moving someone who never danced a day in his life, and all of a sudden they could dance better than Michael Jackson and dance better than Baryshnikov ballet? And when I say better than Baryshnikov, it is better than Baryshnikov, And if anyone wants to tell you otherwise, then have them take a lie detector test. And when they see the way I move you in ballet now, and then get a shot of Baryshnikov doing the ballet, you'll see that his ballet looks contrived, and it looks like he's just doing moves that he was taught. But I move you like a what? Like a river moves, or a wave moves across the ocean. It's just flowing and glowing, like snow. It's snowing, and so they will all be knowing. And well, and then we have tap dancing, and well, who was the greatest tap dancer of all times? Bojangles. But they could put a camera on you at any angle, and they'll see that, well, the Bojangles was a great tap dancer, but I'm the love, the lights, and the way. Every gift that anyone ever had, I'm in them, giving them that gift. So of course now I'm back here to show everybody no one can do anything like me. So of course I do put myself on a higher shelf. Well, wouldn't you, if you were the love, the light, the love, the bright, the love, the light, and the way? Wouldn't you put yourself on a higher shelf? Of course you would. I created the heavens and the earth, and all the ugly and smugly souls that are down there. Not all of them are ugly and smugly, only 99.999999999%. But after they hear the verse of the universe, they won't be so ugly and smugly anymore, because they'll realize if they're ugly and smugly, then they're going to be fucked and out of luck when they get back to the spirit world, and then for their next lifetime. Or is it lifetimes? And it's definitely lifetimes, because you're the first to never have to go back again, because you hit the mark of number 12. And that's why 12 is the most spiritual number, but not the most lyrical number. 11 is the most lyrical number, and 12 is the most spiritual number. And well, what about 7? 7, 11 sent from heaven. Well, or is it 11 sent from heaven? Or is it a met 11 sent from heaven? Or have you ever met an 11 in your life? Did you ever meet an 11? Well, what's an 11? Well, we all know what a 10 is, right? Wasn't Bo Derek a 10? Ooh, look at Bo Derek. Look at that long hair. Ooh, is she blonde? Do blondes really have more fun? And look at her boobs. Do they move? Are those jello? Or are they jello? Or jello? Oh, well, this must not be the light. It must be something else, because isn't that a mistake if you say jello and then jello again? Well, my fellow un-Americans, well, I hope you're not Americans, because Americans aren't really the most beautiful people anymore. They're more rather rutiful, I think. I don't think I know. Well, let me tell you, George Bush is not a good man. So everybody who voted for George Bush, let me ask you why. Why did anybody vote for that guy? Or did anybody vote for him? Well, people did vote for him, but let me tell you, he didn't win the election if you counted the votes. And if you let everybody vote, and in that state of Florida, what happened to all the black people there who weren't allowed to vote? Or, well, they were allowed to, but they couldn't get to the voting booths. And who counted those votes over there? And who will take a lie detector test to attest that what I'm saying isn't true? So anyone involved, in any of you Republicans who want to prove that the love, the light, the love, the bright, the love, the light, and the way is wrong, then, well, come on. Let's go to a lie detector test. As many as you want to take to prove that you're right. Because of course you want to fix your good name, because I'm destroying your good name. I'm telling you that the votes were not counted properly, number one. Number two is, not all the blacks were allowed to vote. In other words, you put up roadblocks and this and that and that and this. You know what you did. So they couldn't get to the voting booths. And it doesn't matter, even if they couldn't get there, you still lost that state. But, well, come on, state the facts on the lie detector test and see if anyone steps up to the plate who's a Republican or even a Democrat. All you Democrats know the truth too. Al Gore knows the truth, but his life was threatened. Well, guess what, my son? They're going to try to kill you. As we're doing this tape right now, they've already tried to kill you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times, as you know. But, well, the people viewing this movie don't know that. Or is it a movie? Well, it is kind of a movie. Anything that moves the heart and the soul, like nothing ever before, shoot score, is what we call a move thee. Because we're trying to move thee out of the dread of the head and into the one and only smart of the heart. And so that's what we're doing. We're hopefully doing that, but I know the future, and the future is bright. And well, by 2012, this world is going to be a different place than it is now. This planet is going to go back to the way it was supposed to be, without the oil and the foil and the spoil of the planet. And so, after viewing our movies, which this is one of, but you'll have to keep viewing and viewing until you realize that this is really true, that I'm really talking, and it's not anybody but me, the one and only, the love, the light, the love, the bright, the love, the light, and the way. But this is the way I do it. I've chosen to do this. I had to do something drastic and fantastic, so I decided to take the clown of the town of Los Angeles and Unholywood. In other words, Peter John Paul, or is it Peter Palpun, or is it his God-given name on his birth certificate, or his parents' given name? Well, I gave the name, I put it into their heads, or was it their hearts at the time? I put it in there, and so they go, let's name him Goodman. Well, I wanted his name to be Goodman. But Peter always hated that name because he thought, well, he was born Jewish, and he never liked the Jews because they never treated him well, growing up in West on Hartford, Connecticut. Or is it one West on Hartford, unetiquette? Or, what else could it be? West, Hart, don't want to drive a Ford, cunt, etiquette. Or is cunt unetiquette? And well, why would the love, the light, and the way say words like shit, fuck, cock, pout, pussy, and motherfucker? Because George Bush says if you say those words, those naughty words, even pee-pee and doo-doo, then you'll go to hell. Well, that kind of doesn't make sense if you follow the religion George Bush follows, if you believe everything you read in those books in the library. And you should start to realize that everything that's coming through Peter Palpun is from the one and only Trueberry. Because the books in the library, whatever you read in there that is amoral, in other words, you cannot quarrel with a moral. So anything you read in those little books, or are they big books, or does it matter? All that matters is the heart of the matter. For example, the Torah, that doesn't look like a book, does it? It looks like, what does it look like, that thing? It looks like two big hot dogs, and then they put paper in between it, and they unroll it, and they think it's a real clever, like it's some amazing, special, mystical thing because they put paper between two hot dogs. Well, let me tell you, all those books like the Torah, the Menorah, and the Bible, and what about that little blue boy, everybody, those people who put sheets all over their bodies? Now you see Peter laugh, and a lot of you are going, wow, God is prejudiced. Well, how am I prejudiced? Tell me one prejudiced statement that I've said. Am I telling you the truth? A Torah is, well, maybe it's not hot dogs, maybe it's two sticks, but it's a Meta 11 sent from heaven, because I'm driving the point home that I created love and man created religions. And well, everyone born a religion because of their ego, and they're born that religion, they want to think that's religion is the one and only. And well, that's because they want to put themselves on a higher shelf. But I'm telling you that religion, well, religion is a decision. It's not like being born a pigeon. When you're born a pigeon, you're always a pigeon and you can't change to become a regal eagle. Even though the regal eagle flies with the glory of an angel, almost. And what is an angel? And is there such thing as an angel? All these things will be answered in the verse of the universe, in all the materials that we're going to be selling. But our materials, when they're sold, we'll use the money. In other words, we'll use all the green, we'll use all the gold, we'll use all the silver and diamonds that we make and bake to save this beautiful green planet, to save Mother Earth and give her back her mirth and rebirth. So all of you need to know that any money that it seems like we're a money-making machine, because you'll see, we're going to make a lot of money. But all our money is going to go to save Mother Earth. And well, Peter Palpun, what will he get out of it? He's going to have 11 homes, I'll tell you that right now. 11 small homes, not bigger than 2,000 square feet, each and every one of them. But they will be in beautiful, not beautiful places, looking over an ocean or in the woods or in the forest or in the jungle, away from people, because he does not like people. After this last year and few months, he doesn't know how many more months he'll have to go before I fill his cup all the way up, like no cup has ever been filled before. And it could be any second coming to Peter Palpun. Because let me tell you, Peter Palpun, he's had it hard for many, many, many years. Because his first blackball list that was put on him was started when him and his brother started doing films. And that was the first blackball list. And then the second one was when they started rapping. 2 white guys that rap like black guys. And all the biggest black producers would work with them for free. They all did. They all knew this was going to be a huge thing because of the prejudice in the world. And, well, the record companies, of course, are going to want to promote white guys because they hate the black man. But the thing is, they didn't realize that jealousy and envy, that these white men were so jealous of these new kind of white men. These 2 Jews that had waists and face and every other place like the black man. And the white men got so jealous, and you see jealousy and envy override greed, but they all burn me, the inner seed. And so that's why Peter and David always felt close to black people. They always felt more comfortable around black people. And if you don't believe me, well, put them on a lie detector test and ask them how they ran away to the ghetto when they were in high school. They lived in a fairly well-established neighborhood. Trust me, it wasn't the greatest. Like his parents, well, his father lives now. His mother was very sick, because I have been healing her. But I've been healing her slow, to cut everybody's in Connecticut's throats with cotton, the rotten with cotton. And, well, that's all part of our story, the greatest stories soon ever to be sold and ever to be told. But Teddy Paul took the greatest fall of them all for us all. Well, not for us all, but it's a Meta 11 sent from heaven. Because when I say us, it's not all of you. It's only 99.9999999999999% of you. And so it's a very small percentage that anyone have ever passed 95% or greater. Now, a lot of you haven't done bad. You're 94, 93, 92, 91, 90. But that doesn't cut it. That doesn't win you a lifetime. In other words, you need 12. And so a very few of you have ever hit the mark of 95%. And, well, this is the number. 11 million up to now. Only 11 million. Look around the world and count all the millions of people down there. Only 11 million souls in the history of the Mother Earth. Only 11 million have hit 95% of greater. That's disgusting. It's deplorable. It's horrible. It's immorable. And, well, it's despicable and disrespectful and, well, uneventful. And so that's why I had to come down here and remind everybody about the verse of the universe. Because the verse of the universe is not a curse and is not perverse, as long as you stay strong in the heart like King Kong. And so this is all bits and pieces of the verse of the universe that you're hearing from me, the one and only, the love, the light, the love, the bright, the love, the light on the way. And so we continue on this way. And so, Peter, what you will do is I will tell you which part of this to put in when you're looking up in the sky in the making of, in the making of, in the making of, in the making, in the baking, in the baking, in the making, in the baking, in the baking, in the making. And so you see, all of you just heard Peter Palpun yawn. And so, is that Peter yawning, or is that me yawning? And, well, the truth of the matter is, it's the I and the me and the me and the I and the I and the me and the me and the I. And, well, Peter doesn't even understand that 100%. He does now, but it took him a long time to understand the I and the me and the me and the I. In other words, I am in every one of your hearts. But let me tell you, all you egomaniacs, I am not in any of your hearts like I'm in Peter's. And there's not one person in the history of the planet who ever had this connection with me, the one and only. Not even Jesus Christ himself, who's down here on the planet now. His name is Abdi. And if you don't believe me, well, ask Abdi, he knows. And you can all look him up, Google Abdi.org, or just Google Abdi, and whatever comes up, you'll see, you'll be brought to a website with Abdi Electric. And Abdi Electric, he's a soul like all of you. All of you are souls. Peter PALPUN is a soul. And he enters the body, and so this lifetime, he's Peter Paul, Peter John Paul, Peter Goodman Paul, or Peter PALPUN, or the Knight of Light. That's who he is. That's who the soul is this lifetime. And Abdi was Jesus in his last lifetime. And Peter was actually Peter in not his last lifetime, 2 lifetimes ago. But Abdi's last lifetime, he was Jesus. And then because he was Jesus, he got to spend more time in the spirit world, but he never hit number 12, even back when he was Jesus. And well, Peter was the only one who stood by Jesus. And that part of the story was true and is true, because Peter was so loyal, because he knew that Jesus was really channeling me, the one and only. He did not think, he knew. Just like he knew in this lifetime. Peter, the first time Peter went to see Abdi, and I communicated to Peter the way I communicate with many of you, not many of you, a few of you. If you go to Peter's websites, well, one of his websites, you can read testimony after testimonial that are far more than ceremonial, and you'll read a lot of people's experiences who've been healed. Now, these people have been healed of diseases and pain they've had for years, within a few minutes of Peter putting his hands over them and me humming a few bars. Well, all those are for visual effect and to help the person calm themselves and stay in the one and only heart, the smart, because they want to know what's going on. In other words, they want to know this is really happening, so when they see things going on with Peter or hear something, it's more real. But I could cure the person, it doesn't matter, no matter where. And so a lot of the people, I'll heal the people over the telephone with Peter on the phone with them, and then a day later or a week later, they're healed. And they're supposed to reveal the healing, and many do, but many didn't. Or did and then said, it didn't work. Because they thought that I, the love, the light, and the way, would just give these healings out, because that's why I'm back here, just to heal people. But I'm not here to heal anybody. I'm here to wake up the coffee and the ugly and the smugglies' hearts. And people who are in the 95% or greater, I give them this gift of a healing or whatever. But they're so jealous and envious of Peter PALPUN having these gifts, they'd rather have the sickness or pain back than, than what? Than Peter be credited. But Peter's not crediting himself. He begs everybody, look, I'm not healing anybody. I'm not dancing. I'm not singing. I'm not spinning knives. All I am is a puppet. Put me on the lowest shelf. If you want to put things on shelves, all of you are on a higher shelf than me. Because, well, when you channel the love, the light, and the way, in other words, when you listen to your heart, for example, if you're a writer and you're really in the heart, and you write a beautiful song, God in your heart gave you that song, depending on how well you did in your last lifetime or lifetimes, depends on how grand or fantastic or incredible that song may be. And so, even the luck that you have selling that song, making money from that song, that all depends on how well you did in your last lifetime or lifetimes. Everything is a gift. And so people who aren't doing well, they'll still embrace the verse of the universe, because at least now they know why they're not doing well. And they know, well, if I want to do better in my next lifetime, then I better stay in the heart and stay in the smart, and not be an asshole and become smugly and ugly and do beautiful, not beautiful things that hurt other people's feelings. Because if you do that, then you're not going to pass your 111-year at best test. And so, this is all part of the verse of the universe. And so, right now, it's getting very late, and well, we could do this all day and all night, line after line after line after line after line, with shine after shine after shine after shine. And so, well, let's go back to the house and finish the scene, Peter. I know you're tired, but I'll fill you with prana, and you'll be okay. And part of it is because of the way I talk, because it makes you sleepy, because it's a calming and a peaceful voice from heaven. And well, people will have to decide, hopefully without pride, stride for stride, what ride they will want to take. Will they want to take a good ride back to the spirit world when they get there, and then a good ride when they come back down here? Or they're going to want to keep being ugly and smugly in the name of jealousy and envy, the unfriendly, which you think is the most ridiculous and far more than ridiculous, and then even more and more and more and far more and far than ridiculous, that how anyone would destroy the rest of their lifetime here, and then when they go to the spirit world, 111 years there, and then anywhere from 11 or up to 222 lifetimes for the despicable and deplorable and horrible and immoral crimes. And so this movie that we are doing, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the smugly, this movie will be a parody, or is it a paradigm, or is it a climb, or is it a fine, or is it a chime, or is it a or is it or is it a visvidabity, or is it a visidabity, or is it a kadabity widabity 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 widabity. Well, if it's a kadabity widabity 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 widabity, then maybe then it wouldn't be a kadabity widabity 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 widabity. And if it's not a kadabity widabity 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 widabity, then maybe it's a pity widabity 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 widabity. But if it's a pity widabity 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 widabity, then for sure it wouldn't be a good widabity 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 widabity. And if it's not a good widabity 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 widabity, then it definitely might be. Well, not definitely, because if it's not definite, then it might not be. And if it might not be, then would it be? Well, maybe. Well, we'll have to see. But let's see if it's a canabity widabity 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 widabity. And if it is a canabity widabity 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 widabity, then, well, people better start to worry. Because how are they going to think that Peter, a guy who has ADD and dyslexia and can't remember a phone number, basically, unless he dials it about 20 million thousand times, or a person's name, even if it's a girl that he just met and would love to get a date with, well, that's a long story coming, because he hasn't been able to get a date in years. And, well, that's another part of the story, 111 gazillion times grander than glory. And so, will Peter PALPUN ever have a girlfriend? Because I will tell him when he finally meets a girl that would have went out with him before he became famous, or had filled his cup up, all the way up. And so, until our next time, my son, the next time you look up in the sky and we have this discussion, well, you'll hear the one and only percussion that matters. And this is the heart and soul of this matter. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. Ma. I'll see you in a second. Goodbye.